my god, she's letting me get so close. I need to get her out. Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today I've been tucking something for the last couple of days, and in here is two of the Ornithoctoninae species Vietnam silver, and I didn't know if I had a male or female due to the enclosures that I put them in. As you can see from up there, this one I believe is the male and this one is the female. So these enclosures worked well, and I used these for my arboreals, but they work well for fossorials as well, and I need to just move them over to something else. So I've been keeping them in here, but doing brilliantly well. When they're very small, because I had them at like 2 centimeters or something like that, and I put them in these enclosures, and technically this is way too big, but what they did is they burrowed right down and made their self home, and then as it grew over the year and a half, I think it's been 2 years, they just expanded out their entrance, so they just made it a lot bigger for themselves. And this one did too, and never saw any of the molts. They never chucked them out, took food, put their legs at the front of the burrow, but I couldn't get a molt without destroying the whole setup that they had. So I just kept it like that because I kept seeing the food go. There was no cricket stain in there. Sometimes they come up and take off me. So I knew they were growing well. And now they've got to a good size, to the point where this female is not fully mature, but I think she's a sub-adult. And they're sexually dysmorphic, I believe. So they change, slight difference in colour. The males are more duller, like brownish bits on their legs. The females, that blue sort of silver sort of colour on them, which is absolutely gorgeous. And I don't think these get absolutely massive. So I know this one isn't fully grown, but definitely a sub-adult. But I haven't been able to check without destroying her burrow. So I've seen her out. And the reason is because I know this one is a mature male, because I've seen his pedipalps, and he's out and he drums a lot and he taps away. Completely different rhythm to some of the others that I've got, because I'm at the minute I'm pairing green bottle blue, so the Chromatopelma cyanopubescens, and at the minute they've paired. She's lived with him for a day and no aggression from her at all, and they stayed overnight, and then she's cocooned herself in like a burrow. So I've removed the male and he's absolutely fine, so you'll see that in a future update. But he stays in all day and then will come out at night and you can hear him drum. And then I've heard this one drum, and this one is not matured out as a male, and I'm thinking it's a female because it's responding back to him, so I've not been able to check. But there is a difference in colour, and I want to change them over so I can have a look at them and get them into like the different enclosures, which is these enclosures that I got from the spider shop. So you can get them from the spider shop, so I want to change them over into this because it's super clear all the way around. Plenty enough depth in there, and I'll be able to keep an eye on them. But because that one matured out, I was like, do I leave it in there? It's absolutely fine in this one. The female, I know she's going to get bigger, so I want to give her some more room. But I put them in here to pair, and over the last couple of days, I think the last week or two, he's been out drumming, she's been out every night towards the glass, and then I saw her trying to go up to the top of the lid, and he did the same. So they obviously wanted to meet, but I wasn't sure until I saw his pedipalps the other day. So I've put them in here, took the lids off, nothing at all. And then I've seen that he's come out, and it was really late at night, and obviously I didn't check on him so often because it was too late. Come back in and see him going back down. So I know he has been coming out, so he's been obviously going in there, and there's no aggression from either of these. I've never seen any sort of threat pose or nothing. They run up and grab food and dart back down, so quite easy to keep really for this species. So I'll just keep them a bit more humid, and they've done really well. But since then, last night he was out and about, and he was in her enclosure, I assume, because she's now webbed off her entrance. So, and that's the same as what my female GBB's done. So whether that's a good sign, or with the female GBB, I've got a sub-adult, nearly adult female, paired her, but I can't remember, I didn't make a note, if she definitely hasn't molted since last year. So I don't know if she's in that window where it's too late, so I'm leaving her now to see if she molts out, and then I'll pair her again. But with this one, because I couldn't check any of the molts, I've got absolutely no idea. So I'm going to change over the enclosure, which will give you a good chance to have a look at them. And I'll do it in here because they are lightning fast. And then I'll probably do the same with the male, so then I can see if he does another sperm web. And I'm not sure if I take the female out of here and put her in the new enclosure, she's not going to be receptive to taking a mate straight away until she's created a burrow and laid down some webs. Then he can obviously detect her pheromones on the web. But I don't know what to do. Do I leave them in this or do I move them over? But I was planning on doing it anyway, so whatever. I'm just going to do it because I can keep the male going. I can see if he wants some more food. I can have a look at them both and see if he's got a bigger abdomen or smaller, so I know he's going to be around for a bit. So I think what I'll do is, I'm not sure whether I get him out and put him in her enclosure now where the web is and see if he can encourage her up. I'm not too sure. So we'll just see how it goes along. I'll see if I can figure it out. So let's get straight on with this one. Okay, so 2 new clean enclosures. So let's just get straight in with some substrate. Because I used, if you remember on the old video, if I put an annotation above, you could check out the old one. I did it where it had like sort of vermiculite in it as well. So when they're smaller, they need a bit more moisture regularly coming through, not to the point where they get dried out for sustained periods. So I wanted it to just be continuous, about 80% humidity. Now they're bigger, they're still going to need the humidity, but you don't have to rely on it coming through that source. And this is my mixture of cocoa fibre and compost, like organic, so it's got nothing in it at all. And then also I've got this new tropical soil, which is good for more humid species. So as you can see, it's got loads of particles and bits and pieces in it. So and it says it's mold resistant as well. So there's no squeeze it, there's no water coming out, but I can feel it's cool to the touch. So that's really, really good. So I'd say a little bit more. You can see it, look, all there in between. Look, it's really good stuff. Right, so just a nice little piece like that. So you can wedge that in on an angle. Plus they'll make their own holes as well. So the female did. They both used the ones I created for them, but then she made her own chained in with that as well. So let's give her a bit more substrate because this is her forever home. So there's quite a lot in here really. I didn't realise how much these hold. Right, so that's pretty much it. That's all they need. But let's make it look a bit more appealing to us. Oh, I've got some of this Pro Rep leaf litter jungle, just scatter about on the top, but I do collect my own, but because I'm ill at the minute and Lucy's ill, we've not really been out and about to collect some more. So especially now that it's summertime, it's going to be a load of dry leaves that I can collect, and that's where I get all this from. Just scrunch that up. And that's it. I think that looks really, really good. This one's going to be for the male. And you can see how big this is. It's 30 centimetres around, so it's plenty of room. And that's all I would do because they don't really do much on top. So they just move the soil about. And if they put another hole here, they'll dig it up and put the soil there. And if they change their mind, they move it. And you'll see when I show you the old ones. But that's it. So there's the females one. And that would be nice. I will do is just place in a water dish like that out of the way of the burrow, because they truck a load of stuff out. And what they also do sometimes is come up, put the bum out, and they shoot it off in that direction. So there we go. So 2 water dishes, I'll fill those up. So you can see what this one done. This one was the female. Well, I'm hoping, yeah, pretty. So this one is the female. Water disc, which they move around. You can see they've done webbing all on the surface. This was my way of putting in moisture at the bottom to come up through, and you can see this substrate goes solid, but it still stays cool and it holds moisture, doesn't mold, and lets it come up. So it's the arid one from the spidershop, and it's a bit like vermiculite, but then I did it with my mixture of substrate at the bottom, so then it evaporates quicker and then it evaporates slowly through here. And what the spider did is it dug its burrow all the way down through the bottom, and it just sits where it needs to, so it can regulate its temperature, which is brilliant from a sling. And you can see that this is all fresh substrate kicked out. Its main opening door was here. This was the original that I did, and it's webbed it off since last night. And that's the males, and the males left his open, and he is right he is actually right there at the bottom. You can't see in there. So dark in there, but I'm going to try and see if I can get him out, and then I don't know whether to see if he'll do anything in here or just rehouse her and then rehouse him and then wait. Let's just remove that, drop it in, let's remove his webbing, let's plop that there. Right, I'm going to have to tip it and see if it falls away. You can see there to see if he comes running out. I've got a catch clip just in case. Right, ooh, there we go. That's gone completely solid, love that. Wow. Don't know if you can see him running out there. And there he is. So he's not pretty big. And he's gone like a brown colour, so he's not gone the like bluey silver colour. So he's definitely mature, but these aren't a very big species anyway. But let me just see if I can catch him up. If you can see him in there, he's actually quite small, but he is mature. I'm not sure if you can see his emboli there. I'm not sure if that's picking it up. Yeah, you can see it there, so he is mature, but he's actually very, very small. Still no threat at all or anything, he's just trying to scrunch up. So technically I could pop him on top of the female's enclosure just to see what he does. In fact, you can see his emboli just resting out there, just to see if it'll encourage her up. If not, then I will plop him straight into his new enclosure. See, looking at him there, he's absolutely small. He's about, when he spreads out, like 3 inches. That's all he is. I think I'll just pop him straight into his new enclosure and just see what he does, and just let him settle for a day or so and get the female out of there so I can have a good look at her and then put her in her permanent enclosure and then just try again later. But I don't think he's going to last too long. He's not as big as what I thought he was. But yeah, let me just get him in his enclosure and then we'll do the same with the female. Right, so there we have the enclosure. I've just labelled it up and it's going to be perfect for him. And it's actually not too bad. He's just scrunched up, and that's what they always do. So he is small though compared to what I thought they could get to. But yeah, completely changed coloration. And that's what some of the males go like. There's a few different variations. I've seen some lighter brown ones, but the females are just completely stunning. But when these grow from a young age, it's like almost yellow, the coloration. When you get to see them out and about, absolutely gorgeous. I think this one's just going to dart straight off in his home, but let's have a look. Go. Right, hopefully it will stay there. We can have a look. See, he wants to run off straight away. Look at that coloration. He's actually the right size actually. The abdomen could do with feeding up, but there we go. You can see the mature emboli there on his pedipalps. But if he can go down in there, that would be absolutely brilliant. And then I'll see if he'll do some webbing, and we can try pairing him in the next video with her if she is of that size. She might not be, but she was coming out. I have seen her actually tap in and go into his enclosure. So I don't know if they can get gravid at a younger stage, but I'll definitely do a little bit more research. But absolutely stunning. Well, there we go. I thought he was going to run off because these can be very, very fast. But at least he's just staying out in the light, because he's been permanently under the bottom of the substrate now for well over a year, 2 years, so he's just scrunching down. But there you go, he has got some lightning speed if he wants to. See if he'll let me get any closer. Look at that, you can still see the coloration on the legs. Absolutely stunning. Let me put the lid on, not to scare them. See if this can hold the weight. Oh, it does, really easy on the handles. There you go. You can see him there on the side. Actually, that's plenty of room for him, so he can still burrow down if he needs to. And looks absolutely gorgeous. And now I can pop this off if I need to. He's definitely not coming out of there. And then I've got a little feeding latch that you can just open up and drop in as well, and then slide that over. That locks into place, so I've got the bigger one to open up. And as I just showed you, you've got the two handles. Absolutely stunning, definitely mature. So I'm just going to keep an eye on him now for the next couple of days, see what he does, and then see if I can see the female in a second. But I absolutely love these enclosures. I think they're brilliant. Plastic, it's cheap, but it's very clear. You can see 360 degrees all the way around it. And yeah, very, very nice. So I do like these. So let's get on with the female and see if we can get her into her enclosure. So same again, you can see in there. Let me just remove the water dish. And then unfortunately, we're going to have to destroy this, which is really gutting, but then they're coming into something more beautiful. So let me just tip this over again. Okay, let's see if she will make an appearance. That's what you want to see. Straight into threat pose there. So this is the female, absolutely stunning. My God, she's letting me get so close. I need to get her out. Wow, certainly feistier. You can't really see on there, but she's got that bluish silver sheen, and then the yellowish hairs on the legs. Absolutely stunning. But I'll give you a good look at her once we get her in a new enclosure, and hopefully she'll stay out. Yeah, definitely. I can see the blue silver sheen all over the back there. Can you see that through there? I'm not too sure. You can see the yellow, but it's got almost a tiger pattern on the bum still, but it's definitely not full grown. Right, let's see if I can get her to stay out, because she is a definite feisty girl. Here we go. And then she goes into threat, but look at that coloration. Be paired, but I don't know a lot about this species, so I'm going to have to do a lot more research on them. I think they need to be way bigger than this. I think she can easily get 6 inches, but she's, I'd say, 3.5 inches. So whether they can, but she was tapping away at the male because he's been going crazy for like a couple of 2 weeks, and she was in response back, so she's well fed. Let's just see if I can take this off without her going mad. Wow. You can see the difference in the coloration between the male and the female. She's got a good sized body on her though, so I'd say she's just under 4 inches, so maybe she could, I don't know. But I'll let her settle, let her lay some web down in that nice little hole for her. And once she's laid some web out the entrance, then I may introduce the male just to see up top here, and then see if he can actually start drumming and see if she comes up and responds, and then I'll record that on the next one. So this is a new one for me with this species, so I'm not too sure. So I've tried to find some details out there, but some of the other species it's just easier. I know they can take at certain stages what ages, but wow. Just look at it. if we can get her to raise up. Wow. Absolutely stunning. Look at it, almost like an OBT. Look at that posture. There we go, so that's with the camera off. And look at that, you can see the yellow hairs all the way down. And then that bluish silver. So this is definitely the female. I so hope she can be paired at this size, because it'd be absolutely amazing if you can get slings of these. Absolutely stunning. Well, I think we stressed her out enough. So let's see if we can get her in. Here we go, look at that for an advertisement. The yellows almost pop up too much when you've got a light on. Look at that, she's still in threat. She's calming down a little bit. Fangs have gone back in, but it's absolutely stunning. So there you have it. She is still sat there in threat. And I think you'll agree that looks absolutely stunning. With that enclosure, perfect. And I could just carry it around with the handles, absolutely stunning. Well, fingers crossed for me that I can get these to pair. If it's ready, I'm going to do more research. If not, I'm just going to leave it, make sure she's okay. But at least I've got a female of the Vietnam Silver. Really, really happy with that. So hopefully they can settle in there. But look out for the next update of these. But if you can get the opportunity of grabbing some, get them. They have got a bit of an attitude. As slings, they're very, very chilled. They just want to hide immediately and you won't see them. So if you get the right conditions, you can look after these super, super easy. And like I said, I've got one to a mature male, but yeah, let's get this female mature. And then I might actually see if I can get a couple of more of these to get some males in the background to come through for her. But absolutely stunning. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.